Welcome to B.News Weekly. I'm Phil Gallagher along with B.News Director Rich Hosford, B.News reporters Chris Flaherty and Robert Parrish, Peter Brown with the weather, Ian Casiola with the Community Bulletin Board, and Marge McDonald with Senior News. Thank you for joining us. The plans for a special election to fill late State Senator Ken Donnelly's seat has been released. According to Massachusetts Secretary of the Commonwealth, William Galvin's office, the Senate adopted an order to hold party primaries in the 4th Middlesex Senate District on Tuesday, June 27th. The special election will be held roughly a month later on Tuesday, July 25th. Nomination papers require a minimum of 300 certified signatures. The deadline for submitting nomination papers to local registrars of voters or election commissioners for certification is May 16th, according to the Senate order. The deadline for filing certified nomination papers with the Secretary of the Commonwealth is May 23rd. Nomination papers will be available at the city and town halls of the communities in the district and at the Elections Division of the McCormick State Office Building in Boston. The 4th Middlesex Senate District consists of the towns of Arlington, Billerica, Burlington, precincts 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, and 7 in the town of Lexington, and the city of Woburn, all in Middlesex County. In related news, the first contender to fill State Senator Ken Donnelly's former seat has thrown his hat in the ring. 23rd Middlesex District State Representative Sean Garbali, Democrat of Arlington, said in an email to Arlington residents on Tuesday, April 18th, that he would run for the vacant 4th Middlesex Senate District seat. According to his biography on his state rep page, Garbali has been in the House of Representatives since 2008. Prior to that, he was an Arlington Town Meeting member from 2003 to 2008 and a member of the Arlington School Committee from 2005 to 2008. He has a bachelor's degree from the University of Massachusetts at Lowell and was a Master of Science candidate at Suffolk University. In his announcement, Garbali started by praising Donnelly for his work in the state Senate and said he considers him a friend. He said he would be honored to continue his work in the Senate. Garbali also listed legislative achievements he's proud of and believes show his standing as a candidate. These included preventing cuts to MBTA service in his district, improving conditions for children in foster care, and reducing income inequality. You can find more of his statement at www.bcattv.org/bnews. We'll also keep you updated as more candidates announce their bids for the seat and throw their hats in the ring. Town meeting is a few weeks away, and the Burlington Police Department is seeking to approve plans to replace their 25-year-old shooting range. B.News reporter Chris Flaherty strapped on a safety vest and stopped by the station. While he didn't get to fire off a few practice rounds, he did get a closer look at the facilities and files this report.
Line is ready.
The shooting range at the Burlington Police Department, which is used for both pistol and rifle training, has been in active use since it was first installed at the station in 1992. In the 25 years since then, regulations and procedures have changed, and the department is now in need of an upgrade to its facility.
We're getting close to safety violations because it's been used so much. So the company that comes out and certifies this for safety every year is telling us that we're very, very close to flunking, because the range is not working properly. So I believe that was last year. We started to get the warnings that we better do something with this range quick, otherwise we won't be able to use it very soon.
We are mandated to do a certain amount of training each year, whether it's firearms or tactical training and things. The Massachusetts Police Training Council mandates us to do certain traiing. As part of our department policies and procedures, we have increased that minimum training standard to a higher training standard. We are mandated to shoot twice a year for qualification purposes. We shoot multiple times a year.
Sergeants McDonough and Hannafin gave me a closer look at the condition of the shooting range and what needs fixing.
One of the major things is we're going to significantly increase the safety of the range. The system is not working as it was designed to work, particularly the bullet trap that we have. The steel plates are starting to warp and separate, and they're coming away from the walls and things, which is creating, getting very close to a safety violation.
There's some buildup in the back plates, so when we fire the rounds into the plates, it's not going up top of the plate and sliding down how they're supposed to. Some of the lead is coming back at us, and that's where the safety violation is. And also, it's just not safe. We also do lateral movement now, which you saw when our officers shot. In 1992, we weren't mandated to do any lateral movement when we draw or when we reload. Now it's part of the state program where we have to. So that, of course, what happens is when the targets are closer to us and we do lateral movement, there's more of an angle when we shoot, and we're now hitting the walls on the side of the range. And you've noticed the new ranges, they have steel all the way on the side. So that's another issue, that's a safety issue, but we're in a tough spot because we're mandated to train a certain way.
So these are our targeting systems. They're controlled by these punch pads, and they're all analog systems. Okay. They're pretty outdated at this point based on the fact that they've been here since 1992. As you can see, all the wiring comes up into here. This is the control box for the system. The power is controlled out of here, and also these targets move forward and backward based on this punch pad system in the control box. What you can see is we've had to make makeshift covers for these with duct tape and some cardboard and things so that casings aren't getting into there, because what was happening is it was short-circuiting the system when those casings were going to get in there and create connections that weren't supposed to be there. And we've had to do that all along the entire system.
Construction on a new shooting range is expected to take around 3 months if the project is approved at the next town meeting.
Ways and Means passed the money for us to pay for it, and we're getting prepared to go in front of town meeting. It was, I believe, approximately $160,000, I believe, and they asked for us to cut that down, so we're going to hopefully do this in 2 stages. The $118,000 approximate that we're asking for now is just to replace the trap. The second phase would then include getting all new target system, which we're going to just deal with now until we get that second phase.
Until next time, this is Chris Flaherty for BNEWS Weekly.
In other police news, a regional organization of police departments recently had members, including one Burlington officer, complete an advanced training course. The Northeastern Massachusetts Law Enforcement Council, better known as NEMLEC, said that 8 municipal law enforcement officers from its member agencies recently attended an advanced search and rescue and suspect tracking course offered by the Department of Homeland Security. Joe Papsadero, Burlington's K-9 unit officer, was one of the attendees. The 5-day class was held from March 27th through 31 in San Diego, California, the release dates. Homeland Security agent Christopher Holter led the class, which is called the BORTAC Tracking Course, Border Patrol Tactical Unit Tracking. According to NEMLEC, the course included day and night scenarios where officers learned how to find a sign and then use it to locate a missing person or suspect. A sign is a disturbance in the environment, often very small, that a person or group of people leave when traveling through an area. Students completed up to 8 hours of practice exercises tracking the training staff. This is the first time a group of municipal law enforcement agencies has been asked to attend the classes. Last Thursday, the ballroom at the Burlington Marriott was full of members of the LABBB Collaborative, a program for students with special needs enjoying a night of dancing. It was the program's first prom in years, and BNews director Rich Hosford was there. Let's have a look.
It was a night of dancing, dining, and even walking the red carpet at the Burlington Marriott last Thursday evening. It was the first LABBB program high school prom in years, and the participants were partying hard and having a great time. The LABBB Collaborative is a program that works with students with special needs in Burlington and neighboring towns and has a classroom space at Burlington High School for Burlington students. The program used to have an annual prom, but that tradition fell away in recent years until this year, when a group of moms decided to throw a party and spent months planning and organizing it. The idea came to them after the head of the group was asked a simple question by her son.
My son came up to me and he asked me, "Mom, am I going to go to a prom this year?" And I'm like, I just thought about it. I'm like, yeah. So I formed a prom committee, and Paul is part of the prom committee and a couple other mothers, and I called the Marriott and just kept rolling on that.
We had about 6 moms that really just stepped up to the plate and just came together to just brainstorm. What do we want to do? Come up with a theme. We came up with the red carpet, which would just be fun for the kids to get excited. You know, we really want them to have that prom experience because they can't go to a regular prom. It's not that easy for them. So just to be able to come in and have fun, it was all about them having fun. And you can hear it behind us. They're having a blast. So it's working out great.
According to one of the teachers in the lab program, the days leading up to the event were filled with almost nothing but prom talk.
So coming up tonight, the anticipation was so exciting. There was more conversation going on in the past 3 weeks. All the conversations were around just high school conversations. What are you going to wear? Who are you going with? What time are you getting there? And then to see the conversations between the high school students at Burlington High talking with the lab students who go to Burlington High as well about what a fun night it was going to be and the songs they were going to dance to. One thing that was really amazing is the Burlington High School students organized a dance party to prepare for tonight. So there was a night of about an afternoon of about 2 hours where the high school students at Burlington High taught the students at the lab program 2 dances. And I can hear it in the background now, they're dancing, and it's just a fabulous night.
As mentioned, Burlington High School students who are part of the PALS program were on hand at the festivities. They walked lab students down the red carpet and helped out in the ballroom. I spoke to a couple of them and got their thoughts on the evening.
I think it's really fun. I love how they can all be together and they can have a great time and just dance and forget about everything else that's happening.
And what is the role of your group?
We are basically part of the PALS Club at the high school, and it's basically anyone can sign up for it, and you spend like different meetings with them, and you meet the kids from Burlington Lab program.
And what are your thoughts about tonight?
I really enjoyed. I think that because not only you're meeting kids from Burlington High School, you're meeting the lab programs from Lexington, Reading, other kids too. So that's really nice to meet other kids you haven't met.
Everyone there we spoke to said the evening was a magical experience.
Oh, what a heartwarming, wonderful experience for these kids. I'm so proud of our Burlington PAL students for coming this evening and meeting their friends here in the lab program, both Burlington, Lexington, Arlington, Belmont, and Bedford. All the kids are here. It's just such an inclusive and warm event. Probably the nicest reaction is to watch the parents see their children having such a good time and parents coming out and crying and saying what a special night this is. It's wonderful.
I can just see the excitement with their emotions going on. I can just see joy. I saw zero fear, just excitement, anticipation. This is the dance that they've been waiting for, and for many of the students, it's their first prom ever.
Finally, I asked the moms what it meant to them and the other parents to see their children enjoying their first prom.
I was supposed to cry on camera.
I know. Don't make me cry. They were just so appreciative. I mean, they came up to me and they were just, I can't believe you put this whole thing together. Thank you so much for doing this. It was my pleasure. You know, I just want these kids to have a great time like any other kid, you know. Let's concentrate on their abilities and not their disabilities. That's how I look at things. And they deserve to have a prom just like anybody else, you know.
You know, this is Autism Awareness Month, and, you know, really the awareness is to look at people's abilities and not their disabilities. These kids, just like every other kid, want to go to a prom. They want to have a date. They want to have fun. They want to be with their friends. You know, that's what tonight's all about, is just giving them that regular high school experience.
Absolutely.
At the ballroom at the Burlington Marriott, I'm BNEWS Director Rich Husler.
There's a new plan for the vacant space in the Burlington Mall, previously occupied by Bobby's Burger Palace. As reported on BNEWS, there were plans filed with the Burlington Planning Department for Davio's Northern Italian Steakhouse to seek a special permit to move into the location. However, new documents filed with the town said that the plan has been scrapped due to certain lease obligations that make it unworkable. Now there is a new application before the town, filed by law firm Reamer & Bronstein on behalf of applicant Toasted Brothers Burlington LLC. That group is looking to put the Friendly Toast establishment in the location. According to the application, the Friendly Toast is a family-friendly restaurant providing freshly made meals to its customers in a retro-designed space. The Friendly Toast will provide breakfast, lunch, and dinner service with seating for 120 patrons. According to its website, the Friendly Toast carries a variety of traditional and specialty breakfast, lunch, and dinner menu options. The menu includes a variety of Tex-Mex options as well as staples such as pancakes, eggs, burgers, and sandwiches. There are currently the Friendly Toast locations in Cambridge and the Back Bay in Massachusetts and one in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. The application notes that the 120-seat plan mean an increase in the number of seats over the Bobby's Burger Palace's 72. However, attorney Mark Vaughn notes that because the Rainforest Cafe closed, the overall number of restaurant seats in the mall will be lower than in previous years. The plan also calls for interior remodeling, but said at this time that no exterior modifications are envisioned. Last week, the Council on Aging invited Dogs Building Nurturing and Emotional Support, a nonprofit organization providing service animals for people in need. They came to meet the seniors. B.News reporter Robert Parris was there and has a look at the fun.
Get ready to wag your tail and chase a stick, because the COA is letting the dogs out. Last week, the Council on Aging had two very special guests, Twinkle and Bentley. Twinkle and Bentley are part of the organization Dogs Building Opportunities for Nurturing and Emotional Support, also known as Dog Bones, the therapy dogs of Massachusetts.
Twinkle is an 8-year-old Chihuahua Terrier, and she was found on the streets without a chip, and we adopted her from a foundation.
Well, he has such a mild temperament that we thought he would be good to share with other people for therapy. And so we go for visits to nursing homes and other locations, and it seems to make a lot of people happy.
This special event was not only to let seniors meet the therapy dogs, but to let them know about the different types of service animals.
This event was just about letting seniors know about therapy dogs. I think there's maybe a lot of seniors that don't know about them, so that's what it's all about. I met Twinkle, the little dog, and her owner, Mitzi, here in Burlington one day, and she mentioned to me that Twinkle was a therapy dog, so I thought it would be fun to have them come to the senior center.
These fun-loving canines were very friendly and loved to interact with people of all ages.
Oh, they were beautiful, beautiful. I love that golden retriever. But I also really enjoyed the way he was ready to go outside. He had had enough of us. It makes you start thinking about, gee, maybe I'd like another dog, you know, and I may go be hitting the shelters and see what's out there. I think people are going to be sad they didn't come. You know, there was a good showing here, but more of us would have enjoyed them. They didn't quite know what to expect. So they're really different than like the work dogs, the seeing eye dogs or the bomb sniffing dogs, you know. These dogs love to be petted and made of, and people are just ready to do that.
From the Council on Aging, I'm Robert Parris for B.News Weekly.
One of Burlington's town meeting precincts is underrepresented. According to a notice from Town Clerk Amy Warfield, there are 2 vacant seats in Precinct 2. Anyone from that precinct who would like to try and fill a vacancy should contact the other town meeting members of the precinct to have their names placed for nomination. There will then be a meeting of the precinct members to fill a vacancy that will be held Monday, April 24th at 6 p.m. at the Town Hall Annex Meeting Room B. The Maytown meeting will begin on Monday, May 8th at 7:30 p.m. in the Burlington High School auditorium. You can find your list of town meeting members at the burlington.org website under Town Meeting. We go now to weatherman Peter Brown in our Weather Center to see what's in store for the week ahead. We'll also check out the community calendar with Ian Casciola to see what's happening in Burlington.
Well, hello everyone. This is Peter Brown with a look at your weather for the upcoming period. And look at here, we're getting into the very end of April soon here. We're going to start out our period. Look at this. Actually fairly cool. We're going to actually see temperatures only in the lower 50s, maybe not even getting out of the 40s starting out tomorrow on Friday. So that's definitely going to be something you're really going to feel after some of the nice weather we had last weekend. If you remember, on Easter Sunday, we saw temperatures in the mid to upper 80s here in the Burlington area. But unfortunately, we're going to be far from that these upcoming 7 days. And as you can see, as we head in towards the tail end of April, can you believe it? Where's the time really gone, folks? Spring is really moving along quickly. By the time we get to the end of April, the end of our period, our average temperatures should be in the lower 60s. And we're going to see maybe we might have a little bit of warmer weather coming up by the time we get to the end of the period. But of course, the best thing of all, The days are so long now. We have plenty of daylight to get out there and enjoy the great spring weather. Now, as we move ahead, I'm going to show you a little bit about what's going to be going on with the weather for the next 7 days. And there's really not too much interesting, so to say, going on. We don't really see any large storms coming up here to affect us here in the Burlington area. We are going to have a very weak system, as you can see over here, moving by us on Friday. This is what's going to bring us some showers, chance of maybe a quarter to half an inch of rain. That's going to move by us and move up into the Canadian Maritimes. Now, that's going to couple with this high pressure center that's going to be kind of building in from eastern Canada. That's going to keep winds actually coming in from the northeast and the east here in our area. So that's going to keep temperatures actually on the cool side for the next, I want to say, going out 4 to 5 days or so. So if you're at the coastline in Boston, you're really going to struggle to get out of the 40s. Out here in the Burlington area, we're going to see again maybe some spotty drizzle going all the way into early Sunday, but temperatures only getting into the low 50s. But as you see right here, as we get into the end of the period, we're going to see another nice high-pressure fair weather center coming in here, and that's going to bring some sunnier skies our way and bring the chance of those warmer temperatures as we head towards the end of the period. Now, as we move ahead, I'm going to show you a little bit about this graphic that's going to be bringing in. This is actually a telltale sign of spring. And right here, this is basically describing what happens during the sea breeze effect. And of course, a lot of people go to the coast at this time of the year into Boston thinking the weather's going to be absolutely beautiful in April. It can actually be very, very cold compared to Burlington if you're going into Boston, that's for sure. And what happens is, in the springtime, we have some very warm conditions that develop. As you know, in April, temperatures are getting up into the 60s, getting a lot warmer. This warms the ground, but what happens is the ocean is still very, very cold. Temperatures in the ocean just off of the coast here are only in the low 40s. So what happens is, as this warm air starts to lift and kind of, because warm air is much lighter than cold air, this warm air starts to go up into the sky and creates kind of a vacuum underneath. And that draws in the cold air down at the surface from the ocean. And that's why, really from Interstate 495 east to the coast, we can get a significant sea breeze early in the spring, that's for sure. But of course, as we get towards the night down here on the bottom, the process actually reverses, interestingly enough. The land cools off quicker than the water, so the water's actually a little bit warmer, and we see the wind change into a land breeze again. So that's basically what happens a lot of the times in the spring, and just kind of giving you a detail of why we can get so chilly here when we get into April and even the start of May in the afternoons. But as we move ahead, I'm going to show you a little bit about the weather that's going to be coming up for the next couple of days here. And as you can see, Friday and Saturday, they look a little bit like they might be on the dreary side a little bit here in the Burlington area and the rest of southern New England. Now, Friday, this high of 52 is a little bit optimistic. I actually don't think we're going to see temperatures get really out of the upper 40s as we get into tomorrow. So that's going to be something not so nice if you have to be out and have to get some errands done. Now, on Sunday, we see temperatures rebound just a little bit and really still very cool with that northeast and easterly wind. And we're going to see, again, the chance of some drizzle and maybe cloudier skies. And we're really not going to see these peaks of sun until maybe late in the afternoon. Now, that type of pattern looks like it's going to continue as we get all the way out into Wednesday. We're going to continue to see that cool northeasterly and easterly flow coming into the Burlington area. So temperatures are really going to stay about average in the mid-50s, but look at this. We're still going to get some kind of chilly mornings, temperatures down into the mid and upper 30s. So there is going to be a chill. You're going to need a jacket going out there early in the morning. But look at this. As we get into Wednesday and especially Thursday, we're going to see that high pressure moving into the Burlington area out from the Midwest, and that's going to bring a chance of much warmer temperatures. So I'm being optimistic here. I'm going to try and look on the real sunny side of things for Thursday, but I think we may actually see some temperatures back up in the mid-70s again. So folks, I hope you get out there and enjoy this great weather that we're having. A little bit cool, but I've got to tell you, summer is on its way, and have a great week.
Hello, and welcome to your community calendar. Spring is here and the flowers have sprung. Get ready for some gardening fun. On Wednesday, April 26th, from 7 to 9 p.m. at the United Church of Christ Congregational, the Burlington Garden Club will be having an event called Spring Fever with Bert Ford. Bert Ford is a New England renowned florist designer who graduated from the University of New Hampshire with a degree in plant science. He is the owner of Ford Flower Company in Salem, New Hampshire. He has extensive and broad-based experience in the floral industry, blending strengths in design, buying and selling techniques, and floral shop operation and management to present the full spectrum of floral design. Everyone is welcomed and the event is free. Space is limited, so you must register at eventbrite.com for your free ticket. For more info on this event, please call Ruth at 781-272-7630 or Carolyn at 781-272-6896. It's back! The annual library book sale has returned. The Friends of the Burlington Public Library are having their annual book sale on the weekend of April 28th. Thousands of previously read books, audiobooks, DVDs, and music CDs are offered for purchase at a very modest price. Choose from general fiction, history, biography, travel, health, computing, home improvement, hobbies, and more. There is also a collection of books, puzzles, music, and films for children as well. Dates and times are as follows. Friday, April 28th from 10:15 a.m. to 5:30 p.m., Saturday, April 29th from 10:15 a.m. to 4:30 p.m., and Sunday, April 30th from 1:15 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. Everyone is welcomed, and please bring money to the event. For more info on the event, please visit burlington.org or call 781-270-1690. Finally, it's a classic story of a play within a jailhouse. The Burlington Players have another play lined up for the month of May. The play they will be performing is Man of La Mancha, which is a play within a play. Man of La Mancha is about a poet, playwright, and part-time actor, Miguel de Cervantes, who has been in prison awaiting his trial by the Inquisition. The prisoners try to take Cervantes' belongings from him, including his manuscript. When Cervantes comes up with the idea to propose a trial in which he proves the merit of the manuscript through a reenactment, enlisting the prisoners as characters in his play. Together they tell the story of the aged Alonso Quijana, who believes himself to be a knight-errant, names himself Don Quixote, and pursues an obsessive quest to attain an impossible dream. Everyone is welcomed, and the play will run from May 5th through May 14th. To see all the dates and times, as well as to purchase tickets, visit burlingtonplayers.org or call 781-229-2649. This has been your community calendar. I'm Ian Cassiola. Back to you in the studio.
The spring sports season is in full swing with lots of Red Devil action. We go now to Robert Paris, who is filling in this week for Matt DiMarzio for the latest sports report.
Hey everyone, I'm Robert Paris for your BNEWS Sports Report. The spring sports season is underway at Burlington High, and despite some challenges with the weather, the Red Devils teams are off to a solid start. The boys track and field team is a perfect 2-0 after its first two meets and looks to be once again at the hunt for a Middlesex League to Freedom Division title. The Red Devils most recently defeated Melrose last week. The baseball team was 1-1 after its first two games, beating Woburn while falling in a non-league game against Cambridge. Burlington's lacrosse teams have been busy early as each squad was able to play 5 games despite the weather. The boys and girls are both 2-3 and both are hoping to compete for spots in the state tournament. On the tennis courts, the Red Devils girls are off to a 2-2 start while the boys under coach Rob Newton are 1-3. Newton is starting his 20th year at the helm for Burlington. And finally, the Burlington High figure skating team recently took place in the NEICC High School Challenge Cup. Congrats to the girls for an impressive accomplishment. That's all for sports. I'm Robert Paris. Back to you in the studio.
One place where there is always a lot happening is the Senior Center. We go now to Council on Aging Director Marge McDonald for the latest senior news.
The renovations have begun. The next time you drive into the parking lot of the Human Services Building, which houses the Senior Center and the Recreation Department, you will notice it looks a little different. Work has begun on the outside of what will be the front entrance, and there's now fencing around the area. You can still access the building from what is now the front entrance, the recreation door, and the COA door. You need to be careful driving into the parking lot, however, as there is fencing encroaching onto the driveway. It's where the driveway is most narrow and only one car can get through at a time now. So long as everyone is careful and comes to a complete stop at each stop sign, we should be able to avoid any accidents. The fencing should be up for a while they redo what is to be the front access. You will still have access to the elevator. There's new terminology in the medical world, and it doesn't mean what you think it does. MOON stands for Medicare Outpatient Observation Notice. For several years now, we have been telling everyone on Medicare to be careful when you are admitted to the hospital. to make sure you are really admitted and you haven't just been placed on observation status. Hospitals are increasingly admitting patients under observation status, and the difference between being admitted and being put on observation can be more devastating than the illness. When you are officially admitted to the hospital, you can go for inpatient rehabilitation covered by Medicare before you go home and only pay whatever your copay may be. If you are under observation status and you go for rehabilitation, you will be responsible for the entire bill, which can be in the tens of thousands. The MOON is a newly required notice that must be given to some patients who have been admitted for observation and explain the reason for observation status and how it affects your Medicare coverage. For further information or assistance about this or any Medicare issue, contact the SHINE program. Trained SHINE volunteers offer free, confidential counseling on all aspects of Medicare and related health and drug insurance programs. To schedule a SHINE appointment, call the Senior Center at 781-270-1950 and ask for an appointment. On Monday, April 24th at 1 p.m., the folks from Dental Bright will be at the Senior Center with part 1 of a 2-part program to talk about the importance of oral cancer screenings. Part 2 will take place on May 17th with oral cancer screenings. You will be able to sign up for your screening at the presentation. On Wednesday, April 26th, Karen Halloran from Care One Concord will be here with her monthly Name That Tune, with lunch being served at 1 p.m. Following Name That Tune, I will be at the Senior Center with the camera to film anyone who would like to tell their story for BCAT. You can talk about your life or a specific event in your life. It can be a fun day as a child or a big event in your life. Did everything that could go wrong at your wedding or other big event? I'm most interested in stories that happened a long time ago that tells us what growing up before technology was like. Anything you want to talk about is great, and not only will we all learn from it and enjoy it, but your kids will have a lasting memory from you. That's all for now. I'm Marge McDonald, and I hope to see you at the Senior Center.
Another week, another photo to highlight. This particular photo was one of mine. This is an adult red-tailed hawk, a very large one as a matter of fact, that patrols our neighborhood. He's particularly interested in the squirrels surrounding the bird feeders. You can visit our website and get some descriptive information on the red tail, how to identify them, and what their particular interests are in your yard. That's it from the news desk here at B.News Weekly. I'm Phil Gallagher, along with B.News Director Rich Hosford, Chris Flaherty, Robert Parrish, Ian Cacciola, Peter Brown with the weather, and Marge McDonald with Senior News. Thank you for joining us.